Dear Robin Pascoe, firstly, welcome to our interview. We are so happy that you accepted our interview offer. If you are ready, I want to start my questions.
Excellent, thank you.
Please forgive me if I make mistake. I'm so excited. First of all, I would like to ask, how did your path cross with creative drama?
Thank you very much. And I would like to begin by acknowledging all of the members of IDEA, the International Drama, Theatre and Education Association. I am the immediate past president of IDEA, and I have worked through IDEA over many years. And through IDEA, I was invited to come to Turkey to work with Turkish drama educators. And I've made a visit to Turkey for 3 times now. So it's a great pleasure to talk with Turkish drama educators. One of the things that I always emphasize when I am visiting a place where I've been asked to talk is that I am there to listen as much as to share my own ideas and experiences. It's very important to recognize that what Turkish drama educators, what Australian drama educators, what drama educators in any place in the world must do is they must find their own voice. So when I have visited Turkey, it's been a great pleasure to work alongside people like Omar, Isan, and Zeki, and to be able to understand more about your ideas about drama education. So I hope that that's a useful introduction to some of the ideas and so on that I will share with you in this interview.
You have done a lot of work in the field of the creative drama. How do you prepare for a drama workshop?
Firstly, as with any workshop that I do, and remember the workshops that I've done when I was visiting Turkey were with adults, but the same principles apply when I'm working with children or young people. The very first thing I try to do is I try to understand who I am working with. I believe very firmly it's not just me giving something, it's actually about me understanding what are the needs, the learning needs, the teaching needs of the people that I'm working with. So in the workshops that I have run, I've tried to find a point of connection, a point where I can actually start and work with something that will help people better understand what it is they want to know. So the workshops that I have done when I've been in Turkey, I've always tried to start with a point of a story, a point of connection that might help understand and be a springboard for the drama that we will work together and make. Let me give an example, and then I'll come back and talk a little bit more about the ways that I go about planning. That one of the first workshops that I ran when I was visiting Muğla was I was asked to talk about teaching drama and history. And I began by thinking about the connections between Turkey and Australia. And I'm sure that you understand that we have a long history. There are many Turkish people who have come and lived in Australia. And one of the things that's absolutely amazing is about how many young Australians go and visit Turkey. And this, of course, has something to do with what happened in 1915, with the fact that there were young Australians who were sent as soldiers to Turkey. It's also to do with the very famous story of the words that Ataturk gave to the young mothers in Australia in 1934. So the drama that I began to work with was actually about two families. There was the family that were in Australia and the family that were in Turkey. And we used improvisation, and we put these two stories side by side. We used Tableau to create the families. And then I told the story about the young man in the picture that you can see on the left. And that young man, by chance, happened to be my great uncle Sam. And therefore, we looked at that personal story, something that I can connect with, but it's also about something that the people that I was working with can connect with. So it's about story, about starting with story, about making connections, and above all, of helping us understand how drama gives us an insight into human experience. When we take on role, we are able to understand what happened to someone else, but we're also able to understand what happens to us when we step into those roles and explore them. So I work a lot with what, Cecily O'Neill and John O'Toole and people like that have called process drama. But ultimately, it's about understanding how fundamentally, when we step into role, we step into situation, we step into creating dramatic action, and that enables us to better understand ourselves as humans. So that's a long answer to your question. I have another slide which talks about the more practical things that we might do, but at least let me start and stop at that point and use that as a starting point.
How do you think the pandemic has affected creative drama?
We have all been changed by the world of COVID, the pandemic that we've experienced. It's really difficult to know how we will come through and look back on this in 5 years' time. It's an opportunity and it's also a threat. It's something that we have to work our way through. On one hand, we are able to do these amazing conversations across technology and to use technology. On the other hand, we have lost something which is about the being together in the same space, in the same room, in the same time. And I think that we need to recognize that. Of course, when we are locked down, when we are closed into our houses, we have to use the technology. But I really, really long for the time when we can be working together in our workshops, when we can be side by side rather than side by side on the screen. I hope that makes sense.
As creative drama movement, we are very young team. Do you have any advice for young drama educators like us?
I think the clearest way I can talk about that is to talk about some of the ways that I think that we teach and learn drama. And I have a slide that might help, okay? So basically, we learn drama by making drama. And we learn to teach teach drama by teaching drama. And if you put these two things side by side, you can actually see that there are some really important ideas that I think that are there. When we learn drama, we learn how to use the elements of drama, like role, character, relationships, situation, time, space, voice, and movement. When we learn to teach drama, we learn to use drama teaching strategies. And there are many of these that we actually, have, if you like, in our backpack when we go into the drama lesson, so that we have strategies which are about focus or tension building or narrative or symbol. So we learn the elements of drama, we learn the strategies of drama. When we learn drama, we learn the skills and processes. And when we are learning to teach drama, we build the skills and processes of teaching drama, like planning and being able to understand the social health of our students. When we learn drama, we learn the conventions and forms and styles of drama. And when we learn to teach drama, we learn the conventions of teaching drama. And so side by side, these are the things that are important. And I've recently been writing a lot more about this, and have a chapter recently published about drama teacher education, which might be of interest to people. But again, these are really fundamental and straightforward ideas that I want to actually come back to and think about. We learn drama by making drama. We learn to teach drama by learning how we put together the strategies that we use when we work with our students. And there are many ways of listing these. There are lots of different, strategies that we have up our sleeves. Some are about role and character, some are about situation, some are about the way we manipulate time, or we manipulate narrative, or the way that we use symbol. But they are lots of those. And these are in all of the books. This is not necessarily something that I've invented, but there's something that I've learned how to use. And I think that that helps us understand the connection between how we learn drama and how we teach drama, and how we are putting those things together. So every time I go into a classroom, I have in my mind a kind of a planning. I start with a kind of a story, something that I'm going to work with, and then I have a series of activities or strategies that enable me to work together and work with the participants in the drama workshop and help them to understand more about how we make drama. So I don't separate the two things out. What I want to do whenever I work with the people in a workshop that I work with, my aim is to be able to help them to make drama. And we have all of these different strategies up our sleeves, and that's how we work with them.
Dear Pascoe, you have been to Turkey before. Do you find the creative drama studies in Turkey sufficient?
I'm always very careful when I'm a guest in a country, but I listen to the stories of the people in Turkey, and I know that you still have lots of dreams and ambitions about where you would like drama education to change, to improve. I know it's hard to include drama in schools at the moment, but I see that the work that's being done by including drama in the community, in society, in out of school, and hopefully that's going to help build an understanding of what it is that we think is important in drama education, and that helps us helps people in the community see that there is a role and a place for drama in education. So, like in many places in the world, drama education isn't yet fully accepted, but we keep working towards that time when drama will be understood better, and the learning that students do in drama will be understood better, and that it's more than just putting on a show. It's actually about understanding how we are as humans, our human condition, our human experience, and what it is that we get when we tell our stories by taking on role, stepping into role, and being able to share those stories that we are creating right before the very eyes of our audiences. So hopefully that will happen. It's a hard, hard road. And I have to say that even here in Australia, it's not always fully understood. We may have the Australian curriculum that includes drama, but that doesn't necessarily mean that every child in every school is yet having those full and rich experiences. We have to keep advocating for drama. We have to keep showing the work that we do. We have to keep arguing the case about why we think drama is essential learning for all young people, not just because it's putting on a show, but because it's about being human.
Finally, can you share with us 3 things that you make the world beautiful for you, dear Robin Pascoe?
I always find that hard to answer in just 3 words, but creativity, imagination, innovation, all of these things are valuable and important and uplifting. I'm now getting a little old and long in the tooth as a drama educator, and I've been doing this for a long time. But what keeps me going is actually seeing what happens on the faces of young people when they make drama. At the moment, I look after, sometimes after school, my 5-year-old grandson, and we play together and we create imagination worlds. We talk, we take on roles, we share these stories, and that to me is part of the joy, part of the enjoyment, part of the thing that gets me up in the morning and keeps me looking forward. So creativity, imagination, play, story, sharing, all of those things are, I hope, inspiring for people. I look forward to the day when I can meet you in person. I look forward to the day when we can shake hands, we can share a coffee together, when this pandemic will have passed sufficiently and that we can learn from each other. So I hope that encourages you in the work that you do. I am amazed at the work that is being done in Turkey. And I have had such warm friendships and ideas shared. And I look forward to being able to do that again. So one day, we won't meet over Zoom. We will talk in person.
It was an excellent interview for us. Thank you for your nice answers, your good response.